welcome back. I'm gonna give this a shot here because my neighbor's on speakerphone, as she always is. So today is the first iteration of comment responding, something like that. As much as I try to answer them, I'm a very visual person. I have a hard time kind of explaining things, and sometimes I just find it easier to make a video. So here we are. The first problem we're going to tackle is the Canonet. This is the Canonet QL17 G3. I just got this for a friend of mine, and what we're gonna do is I want to show you how to access the blades from the back. So I use these Rosary pliers. I'll put the link in the description down below. And I want to take these. It's kind of hard to see down in there. Maybe that will be better. But yeah, there's that little gap. What I'm gonna do is line up the pliers with that gap. And then just twist it out. And then typically you just like to loosen it a little bit, and then the rest will come out a little bit easier. You can just use like a flathead screwdriver or something like that to kind of spin it out. Now, when you look down in there, there's going to be 3 little rings essentially you can put the pliers into, and let me just show you. I'll pull it out. And you're gonna look for, it's almost like the middle one, because there's one right there. There's one in there, and then there's this one. And then there's a larger one right there. You don't wanna mess with that one. So you're just trying to loosen it up to get this out. And once you do that, you can access the blades quite freely. And then I will just take some alcohol and kind of just put it down in there, loosen it up a little bit, and then use air to basically clean it up. I'll set it to bulb and keep it at 1.7 so everything opens up as wide as it should. And if it's not doing that, then use a little bit of alcohol, a little vial there, just kind of put it down on the blades. And then you're gonna wanna clean it out. It's very typical for these blades to get gummed up by the oil and the grease that's used in the lens to keep it moving and stuff. It's common for that to go into the blades and kind of get them to close. And so if you're stuck advancing continuously, check that first before you do the other thing that I showed you, where you take this whole thing off, because this is infinitely easier to do than that whole thing. So hope that helps. Remember, the where I got this from, I'll put the link in the description down below, so you can do that. If you have any questions, send me an email, comment below, be happy to help. And the other thing too that I want to point out is the moment that you open the back and close it, you're able to advance it 3 or 4 times before it stops, and then you have to fire. And basically what that's doing is cycling through the film so you can get to that first frame that won't be exposed by the light as you load it. So if you're experiencing that problem, you're like, oh, well, it's advancing up to a certain point. That's why. Something that unfortunately happens to me more than I'd care to admit. Any of the standard SLRs, and you have the rewind lever thing, if that's off and this is pushed down in and the back is closed, how am I going to open this? So this is 100% a feel thing. I have a hard time even explaining it to you or to myself how to do it, but I like to use a dentist tool like this, something kind of small that can kind of fit in there, and you need to kind of go in at an angle. Oh my god, I got on the first, that's the first time that's ever happened. Usually it takes forever. So there's a bar in there. You can kind of see there's that little bar right there. God, I need to clean this camera. This just came in, by the way, so it's not my fault that it's so dirty. Not entirely my fault, at least. So there's that bar in there. And what you're trying to do is push this down in against that bar and then pull up. That bar is the catch mechanism for this here. So it's supposed to stop it from just dropping down into it. And then that's also the tension when you pull up. It pulls up on that and then it releases the latch there. Down and up like this. I'd imagine something like a sturdy paper clip you could kind of bend to make it work, or something of that sort. But just something that you can get that angle, just that kind of angle. If that makes any sense whatsoever, because again, it's really hard to explain, I guess. And then trying to get this back in, it has to come in from the bottom, as you may know, and it's not going to go in at first because of that bar. So that's when you can use a small set screwdriver or something like that, kind of pull that bar inwards and then just let that slide back up. So one more time for the people in the back, because I think most of that was out of focus. So you have it here, and then set screw in like so, and just kind of pulling up and then pushing that in right there, if that makes sense. And then it's always very important to make sure that this is like ultra tightened on, because you don't want that flying off. And how I do that is put a screwdriver right there and just tighten it against that. So, pretty basic stuff, but now you know. That's kind of how I do it. I think it's a very effective method, as you can tell. If you have any further questions, be sure to comment them down below. Send me an email if you have any repair concerns, questions, whatever. I've got new stuff coming up on the website, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I think that'll do it. So thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.